What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games, and we have another news update for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's DLC, but also future Pokemon games. And this is really exciting. We got more Riddler Coup to cover. We got a brand new cross evolution Pokemon that might be coming into DLC, which is incredibly exciting, and more. And of course, guys, you like this type of content, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider joining the PanFro Games community by hitting that join channel member button below. Now, this is the first thing Riddler Coup tweeted out this weekend, and this is incredibly interesting. Now, if you're not familiar with these two images, the image on the left is Black City and the image on the right is White Forest. Now, these are these locations from Pokemon Black and Pokemon White. So if you played in Pokemon Black, you got Black City. Pokemon White, you got White Forest, and they're clearly timed things, right? So Black was more futuristic and White was more in the past. What's another Pokemon game that has a past and future aspect? Well, obviously Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So there might be a connection to the Scarlet and Violet DLC into whatever the Gen 5 remake or the Gen 5 Legends game, or maybe even a Black and White 3. There's obviously gonna be some sort of connection between these games, and maybe this will scream at like some sort of Gen 5 Paradox Pokemon coming. But this is really interesting stuff, and I do wonder if this is hinting at a particular Pokemon that is going to be introduced into the Scarlet and Violet DLC. Because, I mean, why would it be hinting about Gen 5 stuff right now? I mean, we can all probably guess that Gen 5 is going to be the next remake. This is just how it happens. I mean, Gen 4 was the previous remake that we got a couple years ago. So it would make sense to get a Gen 5 remake next year. And the DLC will be this year. Next year, we get the remakes of Gen 5. And then some other Pokemon game the year after that. Now, if we were to translate this, Pokestumi, he's really good at translating stuff, essentially says it's second new, so maybe a new Pokemon or something about terrestrializing. Another person said this: second, don't illuminate to what you see now. I see new Pokemon in the pic. What about you? So if Riddler Coup is talking about potentially two new Pokemon here, maybe there's gonna be two Gen 5 Pokemon that's gonna be getting new evolutions, new regional fakes, or new paradoxes, something interesting like that from the Scarlet and Violet DLC. Not sure, honestly. This is sort of a bit cryptic because, as Pokestumi said, is Kakana and English, so it's sort of like a weird riddle. We don't really know too much about it, but this is fairly interesting that I do think the DLC will lead into potentially the Gen 5 games. Now, we also got another tweet from Riddler Coup, and we got a tweet from either Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, doesn't really matter. We got the Blood Moon, which is very important. So something about the moon is going to be related to probably the DLC. And he's also not even hiding it again. He tweets out a photo of Pokemon Black and White again. So something with a blood moon related to Black and White. So maybe this isn't a DLC thing. Maybe this is about the new games, which is really interesting. Not only did he tweet this out though, because this isn't like, this is interesting, but like, what can we really confer from this? Like something moon based, like maybe the moon will change the world or something. I don't know, maybe a Legends game. But this next tweet is a reply to that previous tweet. Which or none of them? Now, this is very interesting. All these Pokemon currently, well, all but one have an evolution at night, right? So we know Eevee evolves into Umbreon with max friendship and at nighttime. We have Sneasel evolves into Weavile at nighttime with the, I believe, the Razor Claw or something like that. And then midnight form Lycanroc, you know, you got to get your Rockruff and evolve it at nighttime in order to get this form. Mightyena doesn't have an evolution. It puts you into Mightyena, it's just level based. There's no time of date situation to it. So we're probably going to be getting, maybe in the Scarlet Violet DLC, but I'm assuming in the Pokemon Black and White or Black and White 2 or whatever, the Gen 5 remakes, I'm assuming at least in one of these projects, we will be getting a Mightyena cross-gen evolution, which is pretty phenomenal because honestly, Mightyena is a really bad Pokemon overall. but it is a cool design. I really like Poochyena's design, and we know that Poochiena is in the DLC. It was actually featured in the DLC trailer that we got, so of course we can assume Mightyena. So maybe in the DLC, we're gonna finally get a Mightyena evolution. I do want to say that the first DLC, the Teal Mask, does feature a lot of nighttime stuff, like the festival stuff seems to be at nighttime, so maybe, you know, there's gonna be a moon element to it, and maybe there's a blood moon or something. Maybe there is a special moon, like, you know, Ursaluna needs a special, like a moon to appear in Legends Arceus. You actually, you know, you have the item, but you also need the moon to appear. Maybe Mightyena will have an actual like daytime cycle to it like there is in the game, but the moon is actually gonna move throughout the sky, and you can evolve it when the moon is like full. That would be really cool, honestly, to have something like that. And maybe the DLC will also, you know, add like the item for Ursaluna, and then you can evolve it with that Ursaring with that item when the full moon is out too. So I can see something like that happen, because if it is moon based, that means it's going to be a field evolution, and we're going to have the moon out. So that's going to add all those other moon based Pokemon too, which is really cool to me, honestly. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about a Mightyena evolution. Like, what type do you think it is? I don't think it'll just be basic dark. I think it'll be dark type and something else. So if you think of a second type for it, definitely let me know. So Riddler Coup then tweets this out. By the way, the official trailers tell you answers to some of our hints. Try your best to squeeze them out of all the stuff you have now. So it seems like we may have some of the answers already, but there's probably going to be some more trailers coming out. I don't expect there's going to be any more trailers in July. July is pretty slow of a month, but I expect once Pikmin 4 comes out, end of July, we're going to have some Nintendo Directs appear, maybe like middle of August or like late August, because the fall is coming up. So I assume that Coup is hinting at some stuff that is upcoming in the trailers, but I also assume that they hinted at some of the stuff from the previous trailers that, you know, we may know about, but we just don't have the full context of it. And speaking of a previous tweet from Riddler Coup, where I made a video talking about, oh, how about like an edible Pokemon that is going to have a new regional form or regional fake or something like that. This is pretty funny. I don't know if it's going to lead to anything, but in that trailer, there is a Snover like ice cream popsicle stand, and maybe, you know, the Snover is actually a different variant of Snover, like a form of Snover in this DLC zone, which would be really cool. I mean, it seems like it's still an ice type, but maybe it's not a grass type anymore. Maybe it's like Ice Fairy, because, you know, ice cream could be like a fairy type of vibe to it. I wouldn't expect poison or anything like that, but I don't know, maybe Ice Dragon, who knows? I'm just thinking about like that color pink definitely gives me the vibes of like maybe a fairy type, but the blue here, maybe dragon. I don't know. I mean, I think I'm probably grabbing at straws here, but I just want to keep that in mind that there are some secrets in that past trailer. So maybe there's stuff we just don't know about, and this could be something that we just have no idea about. And one last thing, talking about the regional fake Pokemon that we talked about in the previous video, I saw some awesome comments in the comment section of my video saying that Shelter could be the purple Pokemon that becomes a green one, as Shelter's a clam, but it becomes maybe like a pistachio, a nut you crack open. So I thought the Shelter and the Cloyster suggestion was pretty genius. I really do like the Coughing and Wheezing one still, but I'm actually leaning more towards the Shelter in this aspect. Anyways, guys, hope you like this leak and rumor update for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in the future Gen 5 games and more. And if you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider joining the PanFro by hitting that join channel member button below. And I'll catch you guys next time with more Pokemon updates. Peace out and have a great one.